Hey everybody, welcome to another recap of The Bachelor. Yeah, it's hometown dates. It's the final four. We're down to Gia, Allie, Vienna, and Tenley. So, Jake is packing up his suitcase. He could barely fit all of his plastic asses in there. What does he have in there? He has like 2 changes of clothing. How could he not fit everything in there? So he jumps on a plane and he flies to New York to meet with Gia and her family. So they have a little boat ride to Manhattan. She's like, yo, this is my city. And they have a photo shoot on the boat because she's a model. She's a swimwear model. So, hey, take off your top, Gia. Let me take some pictures in your tank top. So Gia's been cheated on in the past, so she's putting up a wall. But Jake's trying to reassure her that he's not going to hurt her. They have dinner with the family. It looked like it was Windows on the World up in Rockefeller. And yeah, her family's very Italian. I'm talking Jersey Shore, fist pumping. All right, so Gia's mom really loves Jake. She's getting a really good vibe off of him. And at the end of the show, they even show her reading his tarot cards. Yeah. So Gia's different than everyone else. That's what he wants her family to know. And her goal is to be different than the other girls because she just wants to be different, okay? So Gia thinks Jake is different. I think the theme here was different. The only way he's different about the guy that cheated on you is that he's doing it right in front of your face and you think it's okay, and the other guy did it behind your back. But Ma's getting a really good vibe. She likes him a lot. And Gia reminds him, Ma, he's doing the same thing that everybody else is, he's doing it to everybody else. All the girls, he's holding their hands, he's kissing them, he's putting an arm around them. But Mom insists, he's the one, Gia, he's the one for you, Gia, I can see it. And the stepbrother even makes a little joke, maybe not a joke, that he's going to break his legs, he might have to take out a hit on him. At the end of the date, they sit on a stoop and they kind of make out. All right, when I lived in the city, if people sat on my stoop that I didn't know, my mom would throw water balloons at them. So I think they were taking their chances there. All right, so next date, Williamstown, Massachusetts, and it's for Allie, the biatch. Jake was really happy to see her, like roll of dimes in his pocket, happy to see her. They made leaf wishes. What do you think they wished? I think it probably both involved Vienna. All right, they visited her late grandma's house, and she told them this really weird story about how her grandmother was like hours away from dying, and she said that she was going to go meet Jake. And you watch over me, Grandma. Did Grandma know she was dying in a few hours? Is that it's just really weird. I didn't get that story at all. So they go to Allie's family home, and her mom and Jake talk, and Mom actually gives her blessing. And I think it was a little bit premature, considering the ending of this week. Don't start planning the wedding yet, Mom. I think you're jumping the gun a little bit because there's 3 other potential brides. It's like going to be a big love situation. If you asked me, Jake, I would. In other words, she basically said, if you're going to ask me to marry you, the answer is yes. So there was this big dramatic scene where he took off his gloves one at a time, grabbed her by the face, and planted a heavy-duty platonic kiss on her lips. I'm talking like old movie kiss. Like these 2 people hated each other and they had to make a passionate kiss. That was pretty much what it was. All right, so it's off to Newberg, Oregon to meet Tenley, the baby talker. She's got questions. Now, Jake, how do you feel about your parents? Do you let them make all your decisions for you, or can you make your own decisions? Because my ex, he let his parents make all his decisions. That was really weird. There's something wrong with Tenley. Seriously. They went to her old dance studio, and her ex didn't care about her dancing. So she choreographed a dance for Jake, and it was like, when you're on a date and somebody sings a song for you and they're not very good? It was awkward. Awkward turtles. Yeah, it was just like that. Then they did some really sad partner dancing. Made out a little bit. They went to the parents' house, and more awkward turtles, because the minute they walked in the door, everybody started bawling. Oh, her dad liked him. The mom liked him. He's really got everyone fooled. I have a feeling that the soap operas are going to be calling with offers for him to be on their show. It's really, oh, it's so plastic. Yeah, it does say Mattel on his ass. I checked. He's nothing like her ex, so everyone's really excited about that because he's allowed to make his own decisions. And even the parents were like saying stuff like that, which something's very wrong in Newberg, Oregon. All right. Again, he asked permission from the dad, and the dad said yes. Weird. So off to Sanford, Florida to meet Vienna and her family. They had this really short ride on a party boat on the river, and he drove it, and it was really weird. And then they went to the family's house, and they met her dog Chloe, which was dressed up in a very cute little shirt. And we find out that she's daddy's girl, and he better treat her like a princess. And Jake assured the dad that if it comes down to marriage, she's going to be the princess for sure. Because I'm really into her. Whose parents do you say I'm really into your daughter? That is just really weird. And I like Vienna because she's so honest. Let me take her up to her bedroom and roll around on the bed with her, which is exactly what they did. The dad did the old knock twist and was like, hey, what's going on in here? Oh, you're just rolling around on the bed? That's cool. And he's like, yeah, 12 inches, shut the door. And what do? They go right back to what they're doing. Good move, Dad. All right, so it's time to go back to L.A. And Allie shows up at the hotel crying. Where have I heard this story before? Jake, I have to make a decision. It's either work or you. I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do, Jake, because I just don't know what to do. Well, obviously he's no help because the show won't let him be. And she basically said, well, I'll let you know at the rose ceremony, to make a long story short. And as she left the hotel room, he closed the door, and she falls down in the hallway and cries in the middle of the hotel hallway. Classy. So Jake has a little chat with Chris. He whips up a sad face and says, I don't know. Yeah, that was it. So it's time for the rose ceremony, and guess what, Jake? The tables have turned. Allie is escorted to Jake's waiting holding pen, where he makes his little decision for the rose ceremony by Chris Harrison, and basically climbs in his lap and is like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, well, I want you to stay. And she's like, I can't. And she leaves. After she begs for more time from Chris Harrison, which is like, whatever. But then she's like, I have to go. So he walks her out to the limo. He actually tries to squeeze out a tear like this. But nothing came out. And he had a total fail on closing the limo door. He was like, ugh! And then there's a convenient handrail there, which he kind of leans on and makes a sad face and then poses like this. Oh, Jake, is that the best you could do? Well, don't get upset because the sadness didn't last long at all. When he came back in and Chris announced that there wasn't a rose ceremony, he plastered a plastic smile on his face and said, Chicks, we're going to St. Lucia. Or St. Lucia. Who knows how to say it? I know what's going to happen there, though. The overnight dates. You know what that means. Till next week. Much love.